Hey, Pin Dude here. Welcome back to my vintage pinball. In today's episode, we're going to be doing a pinball tool spotlight. And in this series of videos, I'll be talking about some of my favorite, some of my most used tools, just some tools you should have around if you're working on pinball. And in today's episode, one of the tools that I use a ton of is these power rechargeable screwdrivers. These are low power screwdrivers that I mainly use for depopulating topside and bottom sides of pinball playfields. If you've ever done even just a topside teardown to do a shop job, to do a cleaning and waxing, you know that there is a heck of a lot of screws on the playfield. If you've ever depopulated both a top and a bottom side playfield, there is a lot of screws. So if you've ever done that with a hand screwdriver or a hand nut driver, you surely had quite a sore wrist when you got done. Your other option is to go out into the garage and get your power drill, but this is quite overkill for a pinball playfield, and it's also quite heavy and will once again wear out your wrists. Also, you don't want to be putting screws back into a playfield with this. You'll surely shear some heads and strip some holes. So what's nice about these, they're very light. They fit in your hand just like a regular screwdriver, so it's very comfortable. It's low power, so you don't have to worry about breaking screws. Even with screws that are kind of stuck with Loctite, this won't have enough power to break the head of the screw. So for tightening the screws back and down on the playfield, I'll usually just run the screw down with this, but I won't tighten it with the power function. There's actually a lock feature on this, so if you just twist the end to the lock, now you can use it like a regular screwdriver, and I'll just snug the nuts down. That way you get that feel of using a regular screwdriver, and you don't sacrifice risking stripping the wood in the playfield or something by tightening it with the power feature. So now let's zoom in on these, and I'll show you some of the features and why I like this tool so much and get so much use out of it. Alright, so I happen to have two of these power screwdrivers, and I'll go over the reason why I have these two particular ones in just a moment. Down below in the description, I'll have links to both of these. This one here is a Black+Decker rechargeable power screwdriver. This particular model is carried at Walmart, and it costs about 15 bucks. What's nice about this screwdriver is the plug is built into the end of the screwdriver. So to charge it, you just plug it into the wall. There's no extra power supply and cord to deal with. My last one of these had that separate cord and power supply, and at some point when I cleaned out the garage, I accidentally threw it out, and for the cost of getting a new power supply for it, it was cheaper just to buy this one. The one downside of this is the plug doesn't latch in really good, so I actually use this little rubber band just to keep that in. So as far as features, it's pretty simple. There's a flip switch here, which is forward and reverse, and then the activation button is built into that slide switch, so you just press that down and that makes it work. On the end is the lock and unlock feature. When you're unlocked, it works as a normal power screwdriver. And when you're in the lock position, the power will not work anymore, and it just works as a normal screwdriver. It's a really nice feature to have on there. Now this other one, this is actually a alkaline Black+Decker power screwdriver. This one's available on Amazon, and it's only just under $9. The reason I have this one is if you use this so much that you kill the battery, or you used it one day and you forgot to charge it and it dies on you, it's nice to have this one because it runs on normal AA batteries. So the only time I ever use this particular model is if I forgot to charge this one. Feature wise, it's the same. This one has two buttons on the side. One is forward and one is reverse, and it also has that same power and manual feature on the end. As far as bits, This Walmart model comes with a bit holder, a couple bits, and your normal flip screwdriver, flathead on one side and Phillips on the other. But it's a standard size. You can use any accessory from your power drills on it. And you can also use any bit from your bit assortment, including Security Torx bits, which are popular on pinball machines. So those are real nice features. So for $15 for this one, $9 for this one, it's a tool that you should definitely have. Comes in very useful. There's other variations of this. There's also models that have a tiltable handle. So you can actually tilt it down into a pistol grip position. I happen to not prefer that style, but that style is available, and they are in that same range of under $20. So for under $20, I would definitely recommend at least getting one. It's always good to have a backup. So that'll do it for this pinball tool spotlight video on power screwdrivers. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have not done so, please hit subscribe. Leave any comments down below. This is Pin Dude from My Vintage Pinball. Thanks for watching.